The Row just had a sample sale in New York City, and it feels like TikTok lost its mind. So if you are on this side of the algorithm on TikTok, you probably will have seen the Row haul from the sample sale. Either a true haul or there's a ton of parodies too, which are really funny. So I want to do a video on this because I just find the whole thing quite fascinating as a social experiment. So we're gonna go through some TikToks that I saved and react to them. But before we do, I wanna make sure we're on the same page. So let's do a quick rundown of what the Row is. The Row was founded by Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen in 2006, but they did not want to rely on their celebrity brand name when they started this brand. So that's why they called it the Row. And the Row is a reference to Seville, London, which is a street in London famous for very tailored suits, because the whole idea behind that street and also their brand was craftsmanship. Fun fact is that I had a severe obsession with Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen, starting at Full House and going all the way up through their teen years. I loved everything that they did. I had their posters, all of their little movies that they did after Full House. I wanted to be them. I thought they were the most stunning creatures I had ever seen, and I had a severe obsession with them. So they built the Row quietly, under the radar of most people, with the one intention of building the absolute perfect white t-shirt. And when they launched the brand, I think they launched with about 9 items, white t-shirt included, and Barney's picked up the whole line. And so that's kind of what catapulted them. The brand has always been built on mystery and subtlety. There's no loud patterns, no loud prints, there's no discernible logos. Everything about the brand is quiet, it is understated. Most of the colors that you'll see in the color palette of the Row are black, white, ivory, cream, beige, black, gray, and blue. And so it's really just about the fabrics, the perfect tailoring. Even when you look at the Olsen twins themselves, they've been quiet about the Row, and they also are quiet themselves. When this brand started, there was no loud marketing campaign or advertising in any way. They kind of just like slipped in. In these recent years, from 2006 when it started, I think it gained its first Women's Fashion Award in 2011. Their line of clothing and handbags and outerwear are extremely expensive. And a lot of people look at the Row and think, why are people paying such exorbitant prices? And honestly, I don't really know. It's crazy. If I just looked up the price of the t-shirts now, and they range anywhere from $400 to over $1,000 for a basic t-shirt in gray or black or white. But I think actually why people like this brand so much is the fact that, one, quiet luxury has been trending for quite some time. This very elegant, sophisticated, understated look, which signals confidence and insider status. The exclusivity and the fact that this brand is really hard to access to a lot of people is what makes it so appealing to the select few. It's kind of like, if you know, then you're in that camp. Like if you see it, you know, like you don't need the logo. I've never owned anything from the Row, but I don't think that the clothing warrants the extremely, excruciatingly high price tag. What that does do for the brand is that it provides a form of scarcity. You're basically paying for something that is extremely hard to get for the average American, and so you're paying for access to that, which is what brings us to the videos today. Like I said, the Row held a sample sale, and a lot of people went kind of crazy. I think half of the craziness was due in part to maybe people really just wanted to try out the brand or really like the brand. I think the other part may have been to, just take part in it and be part of this basically for content. Like, honestly, I think some of this is done for content to get the views on TikTok. So you do you, whatever you want to do. Let's look at some videos and see what people are spending on the Row. The first thing I wanted to start with was, before even getting into the sample sale and what people purchased, like what people did to take part in the sample sale. So,
you know the drill. Headed to the Row sample sale. I don't know if you saw my video last night. Last night at 11 o'clock, I got a text, that's shit on the ground, from my line sitter, my favorite people, saying that they had gotten to line. They got there like 11:12 p.m. A good 12 hours before, and I was told that I was 68th in line. So truly could not tell you what time people started lining up, like 8 p.m. unclear. do not need to do that. We're gonna see what that gets us. As always, I cannot film inside, but I will show you what I got. Okay, so I just talked to the girls who are very, very first, literally one in line, and they had people get here at 6 p.m. the night before. So if that's any indication for you guys, I see people in tents. The tents. It is 12:14 and I just left. I feel like I'm gonna say the same thing I said last year, which is like, I don't know if it's worth it. It took me an hour. I got in exactly an hour after I was in line when it opened at 10, with the line sitters there at 11 p.m. It just depends on if you get lucky with them like restocking or putting things out. The main thing I wanted was a coat. I did not get a coat. They had like the same puffers that they have every single year there, that my husband thinks looks like a bathrobe. That was like it. And then I'll show you guys what I did get, because I can't get nothing, obviously. But you know, I'm gonna say it again that I don't think it's worth going next year, and then watch me go next year.
Can we talk about the line sitters for a second? So she's one of many who hire line sitters, I guess they're called task rabbits, to stand in line. So like her line sitter got in line at 11 p.m. the night before to access a sample sale. That just, it's not even about what they're about to spend on the item. It's like bonkers to me that we're putting that much value on clothing and shoes and coats. I mean, I guess because like I said, they are quite coveted and they do small production runs the row, and so they are hard to access because they are so expensive. So maybe, but you're not only paying for the whatever you're buying at the sample sale, but you're also paying somebody by the hour to sit in line. And this was my other question that I could not find an answer to. A lot of these people who are paid to sit in line will go in line the night before. Some people started at 11 p.m. Some people I saw started at like 8 p.m. or even 4 p.m. the day before, and they're intense. But like, you have to assume that they're sleeping at some point. So how do they know that somebody's not just going and cutting in line? And they're like, yeah, I was here first. Like, how do you know that people are not just getting ahead of you when you're in a tent sleeping? I don't know. It's like a little off topic, but I don't understand how you're monitoring that. Anyway, you'll notice I'm not going to play her next video because it's like 3 minutes of mostly her talking and then showing 2 items that she got. She got a brown bag, which I will put it up on screen, and then she also got a pair of sneakers. But you'll hear that she paid somebody to sit in line, and then she said, you know, she did get something because she's not going to leave with nothing. So this is the other concern I have with a sale like this, because you go through all of this effort of either hiring somebody to be in line, and some people just stand in line for an hour or hours at a time. And so you're already in there. And so no matter what, you're going to buy something. You're not thinking as logically as you probably should. There's a lot of time under pressure and there's a lot of urgency. What might have been a thoughtful purchase if you were just kind of like shopping alone in a mall or online, you tend to want to buy things that are just okay. And that just okay seems fine because if the shoes were originally priced at $1,500 and now you're getting them for $250 or $300, it looks like a steal, even though you're still paying $250 to $300. And I just want to be really clear that any of these influencers or creators or women that we're going to watch today that went to the sample sale, this is no slight on them because I understand it. And fun fact is that I've done the sample sale thing before. Probably like 6 or 7 years ago, I dragged my sister to a sample sale. We lived in Rhode Island at the time, and so we jumped on the train and we went to New York City and did the sample sale thing. And I did not think about my purchases at all. I kind of just like went in and did the thing and purchased some stuff. It wasn't like a row sample sale. Actually, I don't even remember what brand it was. I really don't. And honestly, I don't actually fault them for doing this?
Okay, so I went to the Rose sample sale yesterday. I have no idea how we got so lucky. We were told it was like super picked over. All the bags were gone. There was nothing left. I have a very long receipt here to prove that there was a lot left, and I'm gonna show you guys what I got. Okay, so first item I got are these amazing, just like black classic trouser. They are called the Vesta pant. Originally $17.50, and I paid $4.30 for these. Next, I got this just classic thin like v-neck sweater. This is called the Stockwell top in black. Original price $14.50. I paid $3.12, which honestly, like, you go to J. Crew, you get a cashmere sweater, it's $2.50. So like, this is an amazing buy. Okay, so this coat is called the Emma coat. Originally $5,250. How much did we pay for her? $1,300. So we saved over $4,000 on this coat. I also love how I'm saying that I saved money when I still spent $1,300, but you know what? It's girl math. Okay, next I got this maxi skirt, Bartell skirt. This was originally $12.90, and I paid $3.20 for it. This is such a classic. This item, it was controversial. I showed it to my friends and my boyfriend, and they all said like, okay, no, you're crazy. He just doesn't get it. You know, it's the row. This dress I just think is like so chic. It's 100% cashmere, 100% silk blend. Original price $4,400. I paid $1,000 for this. So $3,400 off. Major discount in my book. This sweater is heaven. This is a men's double extra large. This is actually one of my favorite pieces that I came home with because I just know I'm gonna wear this all the time. And it also being like a men's size means that the arms are really long, so it's gonna be the perfect little like drapey sweater for wearing over a coat like this if I was just going out in like this outfit. This sweater was originally $12.90, and I paid $3.20. And to the more exciting items, of course I had to get shoes because the Row leather is like any other brand's leather. I don't know what they do, but it is so buttery and soft. So I found these shoes, the Signum heel sandal. Okay, these shoes were originally $14.50. These are so chic. I love them. I love this like yarn detailing on the bottom. $3.62 for these. These are a great investment. I will be wearing these all the time. Two of the same bags, one for me and one for my sister. We got the Miles bag. This bag is everything. This bag originally was $2,250. We paid $800 for it, which I personally think for luggage that will last you a really long time, this is a great investment, and it's like huge. The amount of people that stopped and asked like, hey, are you getting both of those? And I had to be like, yes. I was like, okay, these are a hot commodity. Let's get these. Okay, and then the crown jewel of the Rose sample sale experience is this bag, because the amount of times that this specific bag has been in my cart, I talked myself into it, I talked myself out of it, and I finally got it by the sample sale gods. This is the Park Tote large in navy. The inside is this like stunning tan suede. This bag originally was $2,390, and I walked away with it for $716. So this bag, honestly, like, I'm going to have it forever. I love it. Okay, so all of this together, if I paid full price plus sales tax, would be $26,750. Saved over $20,000 doing that. I know I still spent money on all this stuff, but honestly, like, these are such well-made pieces that are so thoughtfully designed and made out of the best materials. I'm not really gonna financially recover from that for a while, but you know what? I have no regrets because these are all amazing closet staple pieces that I will wear time and time again.
I feel like this is gonna be an unpopular opinion because what I find more fascinating about this is the original price. It is insanely absurd. I don't know why. I've shopped luxury in the past. I've been aware of the sticker prices of a lot of these items, but it is just shocking, the original price. And I've also seen quite a few reaction videos to videos like this, especially this girl. And a lot of people are saying, even in the comments, let's go, I'll show you. It says $400 for a pair of regular black pants, $312 for a very basic black skirt. There's no real design element to any of these pieces. I will agree with that. $430 for a simple pair of black trousers. Okay, so this is so overpriced Uniqlo. A lot of it looks like basics from Target. A lot of the people in the videos that we'll see, including this one, say that it looks like Uniqlo, it looks like H&M, it looks like and Taylor, it looks like the Gap. But I don't know if I actually believe that, because like I said, I've never actually purchased something from the Row, and I don't think that we can tell unless we have an item up close. Like from afar, some of this stuff looks absolutely absurd, but to be perfectly honest with you, the Row is known for, I don't think it's worth the original price tag whatsoever. Absolutely not. As a matter of fact, the Row is still probably making a profit on buying it at cost. They're probably still they are still making a profit by selling it 75% off, which goes to show you how much of a markup there is. I would just guess, and maybe this is just me being positive, but if we had these items and we had side-by-side identical items like a H&M or a Uniqlo sweater or dress or skirt or shoe, and we had the same thing from the Row, I'm going to go ahead and guess that they're eons apart in terms of stitching, construction, craftsmanship, quality, materials. And so although it might look like that on video, I am going to say that they're not the same. I also think that I'm kind of in the minority because, to be honest with you, I would pay the price points that they're paying for a lot of these items. Like, I actually think it's pretty good. And I know a lot of people are probably going to call me out. Like her black shoes, I love shoes. I love shoes. And it is so hard. It is so hard to find really good shoes at a decent price point. And at the $300 mark, I'm gonna say, honestly, yell at me, but I think it's a steal. I was even talking to my cobbler about it, and I was like, there's such a vast difference between a shoe that is priced around $100 and a shoe that is priced around $700. Like the kind of no name or lower name brand and the designer brand. And I don't want that to be the case, but it just is the way it looks, the way it fits. But the thing is, like, I can't articulate, my cat is eating my table, that's cool. I can't articulate what it is. I can't tell. I just know. I can point it out. And so I was like, I need to bring you two shoes to show me. Like, I have a Michael Kors that cost me like $90, and I have a Louboutin, and I have a Jimmy Choo. Like, I'm going to do this actually with him soon. I'm like, I need you to tell me what I am feeling in words. I'm saying all that because a lot of people are getting on these women for buying these items at this price point, but I actually don't think it's crazy. $400 for a pair of Italian wool or Italian wool and cashmere blend pants or whatever it was. I think it's Italian wool. I don't think it's that insane. But again, what I love to see is the original price point because that is crazy. Like the markup on those products are utterly insane. And there's something called the anchoring effect, which I think that this girl is a clear example of. And what that means is that brands have these extremely high price tags, like sticker shock price tags. But when you see it slashed in half or 75% off or a steep discount, that new price, whatever it is, feels like an absolute steal. She, in theory, on a retail price, would have paid $26,000, which is not, you're not getting value for that type of money. But really, she says she saved $20,000 and only paid $6,000 for all of her items. A lot of people who shop in this way or go to sample sales like this don't feel as much pain paying a few $1,000s for items because of the anchoring effect. You're comparing it against that high price tag, and so you think that you got a steal. Whereas in reality, if there was no sample sale and we were just going into a store and paying $6,000 for, I don't know, what is it, like 6 items or 7 items? If we were doing that in isolation, we would feel much differently about paying thousands of dollars for these items. And so just getting the deal, regardless of how much it's still costing you, can be deeply rewarding and gratifying to a lot of people, especially if you are accessing items that are very hard to access financially on a normal day.
I just got back from the Rose sample sale, and I hate to be the one to tell you this, but it was actually so good and so worth waiting in line for. My condolences. But let's get to what you really care about. Here's everything I bought and how much I paid for it. So I didn't go in with an agenda this time. There wasn't one particular item that I felt like I needed to buy, but I do absolutely love the Rose shoes, so I started there. I ended up getting 2 different pairs of shoes. The first are these mesh ones. I actually have them in white already, and I wear them like all.
This is the other thing I just want to point out, because I feel like I might forget it, is that she just said she didn't even go in there with the agenda of wanting to buy something. This is also the issue, and not necessarily her. She can do whatever she wants to do. Like no shame on her, but just in general with the sample sale thing, or just sales, big sales in general, is that, especially with this, is that you cannot go in there with a plan. You kind of just go in there and in the frantic chaos, pick up things impulsively because it's social proof. Everybody else around you is doing it. And so we're not thoughtful about the thing. And especially with sample sales, you cannot plan out what you want to buy. You can think of a category, like some people like, I want shoes or outerwear. But in reality, you go in there and you kind of just have what you have, whether it is perfect or not perfect. And then you end up buying the thing regardless. And so you just end up being a lot less thoughtful and probably spending a lot more money than you would have if you were not in that environment.
Summer long. I think they were originally $6.90 and
okay, $6.90, I'm sorry. They look like water shoes. Listen, fashion is subjective, okay? What I like, you might not like, and vice versa. I don't like to get on people's fashion. And I do think, like I said, a lot of these things might be worth it at like the cost price that they're paying, the 75% off. But these mesh shoes, $6.90 at an original price. What are we doing? There's no like clear specific design element to them. It's mesh. It's not even leather. It's crazy.
I got them for $172. I also got a pair of very basic black flip-flops, which look like nothing special, but then I end up wearing them all the time. They're just a really good summer staple. These were $162 and they were originally $650. I got
Okay. This is like this. I forgot about this video. This is just one of them I don't get, because although I like I said, if you compare the H&M to the Row, I don't think they're apples to apples. I'm going to say that they're entirely different if you are inspecting them and you have them in your hands. That said, a pair of black basic thong sandals, there is a difference in a heel, a quality high heel to a low quality high heel. But a black thong sandal, maybe I don't know. Maybe I'm just not in the thong sandal genre. But $690 for that. It's just so basic and there's not much to it. I cannot wrap my head around it, even at the cost price of $172. I just feel like, I don't know, that's tough. Anyway, let's go.
2 pairs of trousers. They're honestly both so good. Let me try them on. Okay, so these pants are the Encore. They're definitely a little bit big on me. I'm gonna have to get them taken in, but I've had my eye on these for a while, so I was really excited to see them there. They were originally $1,500 and I got them for $350.
$1,500. They are pretty though. I would buy them for $350. Honestly, I think you guys are gonna yell at me. I feel like nobody's gonna agree with me, but I would buy those for $350 all day. To me, that seems worth it.
Finch pants. They're actually a man's pant and I got the smallest size, which is a 28, but I really love the fit on me. You just can't go wrong with a tailored black trouser. These were originally $13.50 and I think I got them for like $3.20. Last thing I got was this extra large coat. I think this is gonna be controversial. People are gonna hate it and the price was still exorbitant, but you know what? I love it. I honestly think it's so chic and it's really warm. This was $5,000 originally, so I paid $12.50, and you know what? I'm gonna wear it all the time, so haters gonna hate, but I love it.
You're gonna hate me when I say this, but $12.50 for that coat, nobody's gonna agree with me. But I feel like, look, that's not my aesthetic and style. I probably would not buy it, but it looks good on her, and for $12.50 for that coat, I kind of feel like it might be worth it. But $5,000 for the original price, and this is what, like, there's a lot of people out there that are not making haul videos who are paying that price point for that coat. But this is what the Row caters to, right? Pricing their items so high so that only a select group of people can afford them. And those people that are buying these $5,000 coats and $3,000 pair of pants, it is like us paying a few $100s for something. It doesn't even make a dent in their bank account. I think I'm gonna be in the minority with this, but let's keep going.
I went to the Row sample sale and didn't wait in line even for a second.
My sister just sent me a text and she's like, there's no line, so I'm in the Uber.
Walked right through the doors. Had no problem, right up the elevator. Straight into the madness. Here's everything I got and the prices. First things first, this adorable maxi skirt. When I saw this, I was like, oh, you're coming home with me. Original price for the skirt was $1,590. I got it for $397. A win is a win. Then this fabulous maxi dress. It's almost like if a barrel leg jean were a maxi dress. It really just has like this gorgeous shape that comes in at the ankle. I just know I'm gonna wear her nonstop all through the summer. Originally retailed at $15.50. I got it for $387.
It's 2 pieces of fabric, $15.50. I just think it's nutty.
Yep. Next, I got the cutest drawstring shorts for the summer. They're in this really lightweight cotton material. I love that it has a drawstring on it so I can make it as tight as I want. So I can wear high rise, low rise, all the things. Retailing originally at $10.90, so $1,090. I got them for $272.50. Insane. Last, but certainly not least, is this fabulous pair of trousers, wool and silk blend. I wish I could like show you the material of this. The camera really does not do it justice. It was literally 7 o'clock on Friday. They were like, girl, you need to leave. I wish they sat a little bit better, but nothing that a little tailoring can't help. Originally priced at $2,690. Yeah. I got them for $670. Honestly, so glad with everything that I purchased. That's my haul. Bye.
Yeah, again, the anchoring effect. Like you just see these high price tags, and so it gives you the same feeling when you see pants priced at $2,000 and then you buy them for $400 or $600. You kind of feel like you spent $100 or $50 because you know that they were priced so high. But the thing is, like, they were never worth that high price point. They're kind of worth what you're paying for them now, and you just have to figure out if it's worth it. I mean, I will say a lot of these things that these females are buying they do seem timeless to me. Like, they do seem like things that will last a very long time. The other problem I have with like sample sales like this, again, you know, I've done it in the past, is that it really taps into FOMO and panic because we stop asking like, do I actually need this? Do I actually want this? And then you just worry that it will be gone so suddenly because there's other women in there trying on things, grabbing things, and you see other people standing in line for hours, frantically buying these things, which kind of gives it social proof and validation that you too should go ahead and do the same thing. And so instead of being practical about it, you somewhat impulsively buy the thing, even if it doesn't fit you perfectly, even if there's some issues with it, even if you haven't really thought through how you'll wear it, where you'll wear it, how long it will last.
Okay, quick run through of what I got at the Row sample sale haul. So I'm going to insert some videos of the line that I waited in this morning, but it was an insane experience. I feel like I needed to check this off my list, my New York City sample sale list, but we waited in line super early. And by we, I mean me, but I made some friends, so I'm saying we, but we waited in line super early in the morning at like 6 a.m. and there were about, I don't know, like 80 line sitters in front of us, like probably 80 to 100 line sitters in front of us in tents that had been sleeping there overnight. So these people did not mess around, like they came to play. And I was expecting that, but I probably was like 200th in line and I got there at 6 a.m. So inserting a clip here.
Again, how are these line sitters tracking who's not going ahead of them? Like, how is there no line cutting happening?
Now I'm going to show you what I got quickly. So I only bought one clothing item. I almost bought a black blazer, but then I decided I had too many black blazers and I didn't want to spend that much money. So I really only got one clothing thing. The first thing is this simple black, it's hard to tell, black maxi dress. It's like kind of this like slinky material. But this was the Eddie dress and it was about, oh my gosh, I need a calculator. Hold on. Everything that I got was 75% off and the Row is stupidly expensive. This was like $450, which seems like a lot, but I actually feel like I will wear this quite a bit. It's
okay, just like the shoes. Like, I don't want to, if she likes what she likes, cool, fine, like nothing against her, but that dress was, you hold up to light and you can see right through it. How are we paying, even at that? I know I like a lot of things. I'm like, yeah, that might be worth it. This is not one of those things. Like that dress, that dress should be under $100. I'm going to put on the screen the original price for it because she didn't say it. Stupid.
Very classic looking. Everything I got, I feel like it is pretty classic looking. The next thing I got was a pair of white heeled shoes, which I almost didn't buy these because I thought that they maybe looked a little basic, but they were so comfortable and the leather was really soft. So they're kind of this like cream color and this little kitten heel, but I thought they were perfect for the summer. Even with that dress, I just feel like these are going to be a good go-to staple. And truthfully, I have a very hard time finding shoes that are easy to walk in. So all the shoes were about $200 or so. And then I got these little slides that were very cute. Check these out. So cute. They're like flat, just black, super classic again. I feel like I'll be able to wear those a lot. These are about $222. And then the last pair of shoes I got and the last thing I got was a pair of loafers. And I was literally circling the sale to find the spare loafer. There was only one of these black loafers, and I asked every single employee that would listen to me if they knew where the other one was. And then when I left, I miraculously circled and this box just appeared. So I think another seller maybe had it and there was like a spare shoe, but it's just this pair of kind of chunky classic black loafers. I just feel like they're a good classic pair. You can wear jeans, you can wear trousers, just smells really yummy. Even with socks, I feel like in the winter. These were originally $11.50 and they were $287. So all the shoes were like about $200 or so. I asked if they were restocking and people wouldn't give me a straight answer. They were very strict about this sale, by the way. You could bring your phone in, but they taped your phone up so you couldn't record anything. And some of the people said that they were restocking a little bit, but I don't know if they have a ton. When I got in around noon, they didn't have any bags. They had a couple of bags, but people didn't steal them. They took them. The shoe section was dwindling a little, and they did have quite a bit of clothes, but they didn't have your classic clothes like I wanted. I really wanted a white button down, but they only had gigantic ones. I really wanted a cashmere black vest, but I didn't see that there. And then what else was I looking for? Just shoes. I did want to look at shoes. So I did get good shoes and I got a good dress, but I'm glad that I went. I know my friend wants to go tomorrow. But I feel like if I do, I want to go first thing in the morning just to see what they have. But I'm glad that I experienced that and I did meet some really amazing people.
Okay, I mean, at least she sounds like she went in kind of with a plan. You know, call me, Larry, the dress is nuts, but to be honest, those loafers, I have been on the hunt. My dog is crying because he went to the groomer today and he was not happy. So he wants all the attention. He's just gonna have to wait. He's gonna have to wait. Those loafers, I've been on the hunt for a black loafer for about 2 years. And what I've decided, going through this whole thing, I don't want to buy anything at full retail price. I would like to buy anything I buy now and in the future, I would like it to be secondhand. Just environmental, save money, just not paying the high markup price of whatever that company or brand is charging. And so I just feel better about it. And I've been on the hunt for so freaking long. The price tag of $200 something for that loafer to me is exactly what I've been looking for, to a T. And I have not found anything until I saw her in the video with the shoe. I would all day pay that much money for a black loafer. I would probably pay in the $400 or $500 range for the perfect black loafer. I would not pay over $1,000 for a black loafer. That is freaking insane. But honestly, I'm just gonna say, I think she kind of got a steal with that one. I really do. I'm still looking. I'm looking on Poshmark. I'm looking on Vestiaire Collective. I've yet to find something that looks good and is reasonably priced.
Guys, we just got back from the Rose sample sale and I swear I blacked out. It was insane. Let's find out what exactly came home with.
I'm sorry. I know we just started this, but there's so many videos that say when they go shopping, online shopping or in-store shopping, they say, I just blacked out. Michaela Noguera, I think, said that in her recent infamous shopping haul where she spent $100,000 on designer things. I blacked out.
So, I blacked out. Kind of bad.
Let's not black out when we go shopping. That's not a good thing. We need to be thoughtful. We need to be precise. We need to be specific. We need to know exactly what we're spending and how we're spending it, what we're spending it on. We need to really think through this. The fact that there's so many people out there, they're yeah, I just went shopping and blacked out. Not a good thing, not good. Anyway.
Because truly, I don't know. Let's start with the bags. They were all at 70% off retail. There was a small table right when we got in, and I think there was someone who got the Margot. Unfortunately, that person was not me. I did get this like white little bucket bag, retails $9.20, and it was 70% off. I picked up.
Okay, I'm sorry. That white bucket bag looks like my ex had a boat before. He had a sailboat, and we had these like this little container, mesh container that we would bring the water up to wash the deck and all of the teak. It looks like that. I don't even know that there was a strap on that. What are you doing with that bag?
Two of the Sophias, the mini version and the bigger one. I just love how like minimalistic. Moving on to the shoes, this is like a fraction of what I got. I really lucked out this time, and I was able to find a lot of shoes in my size, which usually does not happen because I'm a 39. I got these sandals. I actually got these for me and my sister. Another pair I got for my sister. They're like these navy satin kitten heels, just like a really cute basic. All shoes were 70% off retail. The next pair are my favorite. I've literally wanted these for the longest time, and I found them today. They were like $300. Obsessed. They did have a pretty solid selection of loafers. They just like kept on restocking. It was hectic, I'm not gonna lie. I got these for my mom. They're like these like navy suede loafers. Another pair of loafers. Also picked these up. They're called the Owen. They had them in a few other colors as well. And again, I wanted this pair for the longest time. It's funny because at first I did not see them in my size, and I asked one of the employees, and like 2 minutes later, she came back with my size. I am still shook. And after the discount, I got these for like $3.75. And bye!
I don't want to harp on this girl style, but those last boots, not timeless. Like, I don't think you're wearing those in 3 to 5 years. You're not. I don't know. I just found it really interesting, this whole like sample sale phenomenon, especially with the Row, because their items are so expensive and there's no clear discernible design or logo or pattern to signal that that's what you're wearing. I guess if you have the Margot bag, then if you know, you know, or maybe certain like types of shoes. But this situation in these videos like tap into so many things that I think we all experience when we go shopping, like the fear of missing out on something, especially with sales, scarcity, limited time sale, that sparking that adrenaline and that stress and that urgency to want to buy it before it's gone. Like you have to get it. So you spend more than you absolutely would have. It makes you act and spend in a way that you wouldn't otherwise do in a normal casual shopping setting. All of these pieces are not worth those high price tags, but we put value on them because we see other people and other influencers spending the money on these things, and so we assume that it must be worth it. And so to be part of that little kind of like, if you know, you know, elite club, we will spend the money to be part of that. And so the Row is really smart in doing this. You'll never see a brand like this go on sale mass market so that anybody can access the 75% off. This sale is for people who are diehard followers and lovers of the brand, and people who are willing to go through the effort to stand in line, go through the process, and buy the thing. What this does is that it gives a lot of people who wouldn't ordinarily have it access to the brand, and so is kind of a stepping stone. It's like what any of these other designer brands like Gucci, Louis Vuitton, Chanel, that you can buy the nail polish or the lipstick or the bag charm. This gives you an introduction to the brand with the intention or hope that you will become loyal to that brand in the future. And so you're paying discount price right now, but at some point they anticipate that even a fraction of these shoppers will end up paying full price for the items in the future. I would love to know your thoughts, and what I would love to know, especially if you are somebody who has purchased things from the Row, or you have things from the Row. All I know is they're very quiet on how they manufacture and source their materials, but they are just known for impeccable craftsmanship and quality and material. Not at that price point, but that's what they're known for. I would love to know your thoughts, the good, the bad, the ugly. Thank you for sticking around. I'll see you in the next one. Okay, thanks. Bye.